Okay. Um, so everything I experience, I will document it and I will talk about it because I understand that as I can obviously say, I've said it before, I can feel my brain just slowly fading away, and my memories and my thoughts and my logic and the way to just change reality. And sometimes I just it's just like it's it's uh, it's it's crazy and comical at the same time. Seeing these people in front of me wanting me to accept something that I know is falsified, and the creations and manipulations to things I already have addressed, but I like the way it makes me look like I'm some kind of prophet because the things they do on things that they think they can gaslight me into accepting a a falsified reality, and the tactics are so clear and so transparent in the sense that you know what they're trying to do. And these people turn into children for you to accept something that for sure one thing I'll never do is let them escape. Let me introduce myself and continuously bring up reality. I'm what you call a TI. Target individuals are human subjects in a program where the government is utilizing the utmost sophisticated technology to manipulate us and experience things that we would never experience naturally, meaning that reactions, thoughts, memories, and all kind of other things. And I'm a TI with what you call synthetic and V2K. A lot of target individuals do have that experience. Others have just specifically gang stalking. I do have gang stalking, but at this point, it's really not something I even care about because what really does the job in regard to the manipulation and the tormenting for me is the V2K and the synthetic telepathy. The rest is just like I don't care. It doesn't phase me. I'm not. They don't. At this point, it's just the manipulations are the most disorienting, disturbing things. If there's people stalking me, gang stalking, I don't care at that point. But what I care is not the ability to no longer be myself because of how I'm being manipulated by this technology, and we know this at this point is it'll be stupid to think that people in charge of this program are anybody but some kind of entities related to the government. And I of course see that as that. With that being said, we target individual are surrounded by people, an ecosystem of people who are trying to make you believe a falsified reality, create a psyop, and try to get you to accept the manipulation that you're experiencing when it comes to your thoughts, your reactions, and even your memories. And you slowly break down as they destroy you, your being, your thoughts, your logic, your rationality, and your memories. And they do everything possible from noise campaign to the warnings of horrible tortures and repetition, which is like basic brainwashing, right? You say something over and over and over and over and hope that somebody accepts something that's falsified. You understand how brainwash work. Somebody can tell you, like the most typical brainwashing is like when I'm repetitively say things over and 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 over, in hope that that's gonna make the person accept that because he or she is continuously hearing the same thing, which is the case for us. We get these repetitive scripts and disorientations to try to always like keep you out of touch with reality. And that is like the basic, but what is the extremely sophistications and the fictional almost aspect of things that you don't even believe is real is how do they force you to react to a lot of things. I'm a target individual who gets all this synthetic telepathy type of torment where your thoughts are being completely manipulated and you no longer think as you would think if you were yourself. Your memories are being manipulated nonstop. This is why I continuously talk about these manipulations of memories in order to get you to think a different version of notions of self, like the different notion of self. And they try to degrade you and dehumanize you in every way possible. And it's just sometimes you see the people how they become children, blocking out reality whatever they can, and the delusional of some people. For me, sometimes like it's just so bad. But now that I have this introduction, let me address my experience the last few days. I was with a perp. At the end of the day, I'm somebody who do enjoy the company of women, but of course the people I'm around are not just regular people. There are people involved in this program, and they are going to do their part to try to make me acceptive of whatever manipulations. And for me, the psyop has been so obviously disturbing, because you are familiar with this like woke like cultural world that we're in. There's a psyop that they are trying to present to me. These women who are trying to make it seem like they're doing these things for the purpose of avenging and protecting the community, when in reality they're in a program that literally destroying lives of women, their children, doing horrible things that anybody who's truly stand on dignity and honor and protective of women and children all around the world will be truly against this, because this program is truly a program to see how easily you can manipulate a human being in so many disturbing ways to push him or her into suicide, despair, as they like to say to me, torment. And it's obvious that a civilian can do nothing about this implementation that's coming from these governmental entities. But these perps around you try to make it seem like it's everything but that it's their money. We're this group, we are this group of like, it's so disturbing. And I'm looking at them, it's like, do you first of all, with me, the humiliation of reality. And I have that on my phone. I see the person on my phone every day to remember, this is the person who put me in this program where they do these things. The person on my phone is somebody who is the employer I worked for, who is extremely conservative and is the reason why I'm in this program. And now I have these people who are playing these disturbing ways of trying to make me accept these things. And the way they think that because they're presenting themselves as that, or because they involve in this world of wokeism and progressiveness, and I should be like, oh my gosh, this program is definitely a program that's not torturing women, that's not do all this manipulation, that shows systematic patterns of what they do. I should be dumbing myself down to forget the reality and go into that fantasy they put together. Never. And they start calling that being at war. Now, things that happen to me, teeth decaying, making me a handicap, lungs restriction, all of these things, everything I'm saying right now has been said by others. Everything, even others who have children, they even witness children go through some disturbing torture, which includes sexual torture. The manipulations that they make us experience is this pedophilia type of tormenting that make you have sexual stimulations onto children, like sexual stimulation that are aimed toward children, and it's disgusting. And me being with this woman showed me how disgusting this low life are. I'm gonna be a little bit graphic, so excuse my the graphic testimonial here, but it needs to be explained and addressed. And I need to explain how this disturbingness and how low these people have gone, and how things will come back to them at some point, because you cannot live this trashy, disturbing life and think that life is going to be good to you. Enjoy your God movement. Enjoy these moments, because you're going to have to pay a price. You understand that? Not today. Today's not the day, but it will come. I was with this woman. She's done so much disturbing things to me, but when you, as a target individual, it's not that my weaknesses, I do have much more weaknesses. The company of women is something I enjoy. Even though sometimes I know they're perps, their company is a company that I enjoy being, and it's like maybe the biggest weakness I have. the biggest weakness might be me enjoying the company of women, enjoying entertaining, and enjoying being with a woman. And so they know that, obviously, but they are trying to change that my imperfection to something else. They So when I'm interacting and when I'm with these women, um, as perp, they do their best to try to gaslight you and make you acceptive of these manipulations. So I'm with this woman. I think I've shown videos of her, some of them when she gets up and whatever, and when, for example, I had like my surveillance camera, you can see waking up early and doing things and saying that while I'm asleep, this person probably is doing things to me, right? Maybe she's opening the door and letting other people doing things to me. But I do like the company of women, and sometimes, and then so I fall into the concept of being with a woman, but even understanding she's a perp. This woman, she always tried to make me look at children because she knows that this technology that can manipulate your thoughts can make me experience disgusting stimulations, reactions, thoughts. And I've talked about the things she did before, where there was like somebody's wedding, somebody was dancing. It's like, oh, you want to see this video of this guy dancing? It's like, yeah, let me see. And then you see this little girl, and then all throughout the night they were forcing me to get these disgusting things. Then it happened again where I'm becoming a little bit nervous about what she's gonna show me. It's like, hey, can you see these kids? She showed me this boy. It's like, oh, look at this boy and this little kid. That's a boy on this person, and because with boys they cannot do so much, because with me when they do this disgusting pedophilia type of torture, because I've been in the life of this little boy. This picture with me and him, when they do this pedophilia things and aim it for babies that are boys, it's kind of like, okay, so you're saying that this is happening to me now, but why it did not happen here when I'm with this little boy? So they like to do that toward little girls, because I'm not raised a girl. I was not in the life with a little girl. So they can create these things and make me think, oh, that's how you experience it. That's how you experience things when you were a kid. So she said, okay. I was like, okay, I can deal with this, whatever they can do to me. And then I look at the video, and out of nowhere, there's like this little girl, maybe 3-year-old little girl, just walking around, and she's a little black girl. And immediately they do this disgusting things, and in my brain there's like, all little black girls. That's real, right? It's so nasty. And then they do these things to me. And I'm like, oh, this just disturbed me. I'm like disturbed. And throughout the night, I'm forced to like, it's disgusting. She wants to be intimate with me, but I know what they do. While being intimate with women, what they like to do is to try to make me think of a little girl, a little black girl, or a little child, whatever, to kind of train my brain and to condition my brain to start seeing kids in these disgusting ways. And training my brain to see them in a sexual way. So I'm having sexual interaction with a woman, and they start implanting thoughts of little girls. And little babies, I'm saying, specifically. And that's what they like to do. So I'm like, I'm not going to be intimate with you. I cannot, because I know what you guys are going to try to do. And so she's really trying her best to kind of create some kind of sexual interaction. I'm like, I don't want to, like, whatever is going to happen. Listen, I'm a man after all, right? Woman, a man, I have my weakness. And so I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be intimate with this woman. Now with what just happened, they're going to try to combine things together. I'm not going to do it. And so throughout the night, she's trying to go against, like, she's really trying to set the mood. I'm like, I can't now right now, because I know what they're going to do. They're going to make me think of this kid, this baby. So I was able to do nothing all throughout the night with this person. It's like after a day or night, then I can move away. I'm like, matter of fact, I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna make a video about this kid. So I was like, hey, can you send me that video? And she knows what I'm going to do, because I'm going to make videos. Every time they manipulate me to get these disturbing things, I'm like, if I have a picture of this person or this child or whatever they did this thing to, it's like, I'll make a video. I was like, listen, they're making me look at this baby in these disgusting ways when I can. So like this is the second time this happened, like within a week or so. Please send me this. I just, I found an excuse, because I'm going to make a video on YouTube on my channel and say, listen, they're doing these things again, where they make me look at these kids so they can do these disturbing manipulations of my thoughts and even my reaction to try to create disturbing stimulations. And so after a day goes, I'm okay. I'm like, okay, I have to let that go. I continue to interact with this woman. And like I said, my weakness is women. Then the second night comes. Now we become intimate. Sorry for being graphic, but we're being intimate, and at this point, we are intimate. And when the climax comes to my end, when I'm done, at the end, they start making me think of this little girl, to train my brain in this sexual way. And sorry for the graphicness here. This person that I'm intimate with start doing things and I'm gonna try to find a way to kind of not be too specific, to create contraction. And every time they put this thought of this child, she's doing these contractions. You understand? I don't want to go too much into graphics in that, but she will try to create contractions of some sort. And so I'm like, oh, let me get out of the situation. She's like, no. Please, just a little longer. And they do this again, where she continued to do this contraction. And at one point, I just tried to adjust myself, and they try to create a new arousal and make me think of this kid. And it was so disgusting. It was so foul. So foul. And they do this thing often. Every time I'm with a woman, they try to... this one time I was with this woman, and she stopped, and she looked at me, and she said, black girl. And then went back to whatever. This is how disgusting it gets. Now, I deal with this person. She then, throughout the nights, I'm like, they're having these dialogues. Because as target individual with V2K synthetic therapy, you're going to hear that, you can hear what these perps that keep you up all night or all morning early. And they have these dialogues via V2K. They say things, and it's just meant to push you to insanity. They use this technology onto us. You can hear them having those dialogues, and they want you to have those back. You can have this interaction in your head, and this is insane. It's super advanced technology. I remember on August 19, 2019, when this whole thing started, in regard to the manipulation of my thoughts and my mind, when they started interacting with me, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, you guys can do that. Yeah, this has been, this is new technology. Anyways, you hear that a lot from other target individual, and then you realize that these things have been around for a long time. This technology with the ability to just project voices onto your brain have been around. They call voices of God. It's been around for a long time. It's been even utilized in certain wars, where they will say we'll pretend that we're gods, and we're God, and ladies, this is the Department of Defense technology, but become more and more sophisticated. And on top of that, our brain is somehow connected to some supercomputer that they can lay over thoughts, memories, things, and control us in these disturbing ways. And you're going to hear a lot of specific details that we all go through and experience. That's when you know that the patterns is just so obvious that there is some kind of were some kind of human subject in this program. And then you hear the noise campaign, people are trying to make you be subscriptive or whatever manipulation. It was so disturbing. And you look at this person like, how disgusting are you? That you literally want me to think about children so much that you yourself, while I'm sexually interacting with you, when we have that sexual connection, you are trying to make me subscribe to this disturbing pedophilia of things, but training, like try to like stimulate me every time they make me think of a child. The timing was like that. Always. It was that nasty. And so you look at these people, it's like, you are just human trash. It's like, now we mapped it. It's like, you see how disgusting it is? Literally doing things to try to train my brain this way. This is war? Delusional trash, this is not war. It's you participating in a program that is trying to change a person and make the person acceptive of these manipulations. You are part of a program that is experimenting and developing a technology, utilizing human beings and try to change those human beings into things and people they're not. And make them acceptive because you are gaslighting. Then the gaslighting method with this person, thankfully, it's like she turns into a child completely when she gaslights you. She's just like, oh, it's you. And then she goes rushing. It's like, how disgusting it is. It's so foul. And then before I came back to home, they then try to find whatever they can to kind of break you down. And they bring up whatever manipulation they've done in the past. I've talked about it multiple times. I think the last time I've talked about it is like 3 days ago, about how they go into my memories and are changing the narratives and creating new version of memories with disturbing perceptions of things. And you see this trash trying to use these manipulations of memory perceptions. For example, specifically, I talked about how when I was like 19-year-old me, I'll go to see my friend. He has we both have African background, but his cousin has his little daughter there. She's 4 or 5 years old or something like that, and they're putting lotion on her, right? And she's there in the living room we're also in the living room, and she's there. I see her, and that's that. The way they've been changing this is like, you looked at this kid and then you look at a private area and you like try to create this something that as if they looked at her in a sexual way. And it's like, now they know. You see, we exposed you. You even saw the private areas like trash. And come with this disturbing stimulation they make me have toward, like, they aim me toward black little girl because obviously she's an African kid. And they try to give me the stimulation they make me have today. Saying that we mapped this stimulation that you're experiencing today is something you used to experience when you were a kid. And falsifying this moment with this disturbing sexual aspect of things, like disgusting. When, of course, back then I wouldn't care. I was like, oh, you're still a kid, okay. I have an African background, so these things is nothing. Even me as a child, they used to put lotion on me when in the living room, and that's that. And in my mind, it's like, oh, you looked at her up and down. I was like, I saw the kid, and of course I saw everything. It's there. But they're like, oh, no, you see how you looked at the private area, and it's disgusting, creating this perception of this memory. And it's like, that's where they knew that. They see that's proof. We exposed, it's like trash. It is disgusting. And you see this trash that earlier, a few hours ago, was literally contracting to create this disturbing, like, as they make me think of this little kid, she will do some contraction. I don't want to go into details. To create this, like, and it's so disgusting. She will be like, oh, you see, we exposed you. So disgusting. And this is the things that I have to deal with. And then she brings her friend, because they think that because the more people is around you, they're going to gaslight you, they're going to look at you in a certain way, you're going to be like, you see, but no, you have disgusting things. For you to do what you do, to try to create stimulations, while they're making me think of these little kids, so they can train my brain, and then try to make me accept this falsified, disturbing perception of this memory, of how, like, you try to make me perceive this baby. It's like you look at, and now I'm like, they keep putting this kid's genitals in my brain. It's so disgusting. just to try to get like, you see what you, I was like, ugh, disgusting. And mind you, this is me being forced to think about children in these disgusting ways, and now they're putting these kids' genitals. But back then, see this kid, not whatever. Now, now I'm bombarded by these kids' genitals, and they're doing these things, and they try to make me think that that's how you looked at it. Ugh. It is disturbing. But that's the things I deal with, and the perps around you dumb themselves down. And there's some of the gaslighting is like, oh, you're so stupid. They would make me like, oh, you thought this was that. Oh, you see, so we knew. Random things, like I said in the last video, random. Oh, you cut this thing like that. Oh, look, you thought this was going to be like that. Oh, you forgot that like I said, memories at this point are fading away, right? And as more my memories fading away, it's more easier for them to change reality of my memories. The more manipulative my memories are, because they are literally everything is blurring up. Right? So they can go into memories where they're obviously not what, and change in different perceptions and narrations and things like that. That's why I make videos, because I know at one point I will not be able to express myself. I will not be able to talk the way I need to. That's the things I deal with now. And it's funny, they try to make me say things mean about people who are participating in it. But I'm like, okay, when you say that, those are the same people who tell me how they're going to watch me getting cut in pieces. Like, whatever. But one thing is for sure. I will never let them live their fantasy. You do your nasty things. I'm going to truly speak that out loud. So if you need to block it out, do it. But don't think that you escaped into your fantasy. This is the nasty things. And then go into memories where you manipulate things and create these perceptions and try to be like, you see, that's proof, that's when, and the company who put me in this program, they sell industrial stuff. It's like, no, they saw that moment, and when they saw that moment, and then in my mind, they try to give me stimulation. It's like, oh, that's what these people saw, and they're like, oh, they came back. It's like, all along, what you see? Delusional stories. Coming up with this BS, when in reality, the people who put me in this program knew what they're going to do. They're going to try to change you into somebody else. They're going to try to paint you into somebody you're not. That's their job. That's what this program does. And manipulate reality, and that's what is expected. Every time they come up with like new version of memories, like, oh, that's what this employee saw. He saw that. You were. And then change things every time. When in reality, is there manipulate your memory, your perception, and the narrative of what really happened is being changed. And that's why I make videos about everything they do. To try to make me accept that this employee that sells industrial supplies was all along doing this investigation. And the people who are renowned to be doing the pedophilia type of torture found this. And they mapped it. And now somebody that you're with is doing these contractions to create stimulations to map it. Target video, stay strong. Because this low life are bottom feeders trash that sold their soul to pedophiles and now here doing whatever it needs to be done for you to be subscriptive of this nastiness.